The Locked On Podcast Network presents the College Sports Big 3 in 30. The three biggest stories in college sports. From our local experts at the Locked On Podcast Network. We bring you the real story. Why it matters, what's next, who wins the big game, and more, all in 30 minutes. The College Sports Big 3 in 30 starts now with the biggest story in college sports.
Breaking news. Five-star linebacker Tyler Atkinson has committed to Texas.
You are Locked On Longhorns, your daily podcast on the Texas Longhorns. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Just moments ago, your Texas Longhorns landed a commitment from five-star linebacker Tyler Atkinson from right here in the state of Georgia. Oh yeah, we're live at SEC Media Days in Atlanta. Texas will be talking later today, but we didn't have to wait until the afternoon for some good Texas news to arrive. Tyler Atkinson, the top-ranked linebacker in America for the class of 2026, according to not just one side, but the overall composite rankings, has committed to Texas, choosing the Longhorns over Clemson, over Oregon, and most importantly, over the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh yeah, Atkinson is from the state of Georgia. He plays his high school ball less than 40 miles from Athens. This is the second consecutive year that Steve Sarkisian has gone into the state of Georgia and stolen a five-star recruit from Kirby Smart territory. Last year, it was the five-star defensive lineman Justice Terry, the number one D lineman in the class of 2025. This year, it's the number one linebacker and the ninth-ranked player in the entire class, linebacker Tyler Atkinson. And look, pen hasn't hit paper yet. Nothing is official until December 3rd, but it goes without saying this is a massive pickup for Texas, a massive pickup for Texas. The Longhorns were in serious need of an elite linebacker in this class. We've talked a lot about the future of the linebacker position at Texas. Anthony Hill, who will be here in Atlanta today representing Texas, he's more than likely gone after this season, more than likely a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. And you've only signed a total of 3 linebackers in the last 2 recruiting classes. So the future depth of that room isn't where it needs to be. At least it wasn't where it needed to be before today's news. Now, I still think Texas will be in the market maybe for one more linebacker, but you get a player like Tyler Atkinson, that's huge. And it really helps because the Longhorns missed out on Xavier Griffin, who picked Alabama, and Braden Rouse, who ended up choosing Tennessee last week. Atkinson was kind of the last of the big 3 linebackers that Texas was really going after here in the class of 2026. Once those other 2 guys committed elsewhere, that really amplified the importance of Steve Sarkisian to go out and do whatever it took to get Tyler Atkinson, the last really big fish linebacker that they were going after, they were able to get. And hey, we touched on it during yesterday's show. Texas is recruiting the entire country. This isn't just a Texas thing. This isn't just a regional thing anymore. The Longhorns are getting guys they want from anywhere in the country. Some of the top players in this class of 2026 are out-of-state kids. Diabell, the 5-star quarterback from Florida. Now you got a 5-star linebacker from the state of Georgia. Texas going around the country, and in this case, deep into SEC territory to get some of the best recruits in America. To go into Georgia, and take a 5-star defensive player away from Kirby Smart. And this is a guy that the Bulldogs really, really wanted. That is a big, big deal for Texas. Literally. Look, we got to call a spade here. NIL played a big role in this thing, just like it did with Justice Terry last year, and just like it's played in a lot of the recent recruitments that Texas has missed. And the good news is, we're Texas fans. It's good to be a Texas fan in this era of college football. The Horns have money. Not sure I'm breaking any news to anybody here. The Horns have money. And I know the last few weeks haven't been great on the recruiting trail, but all of these misses has kept money in Texas's pockets. Money that they now have to spend on Tyler Atkinson and potentially 5-star running back Derek Cooper later this week. So you don't have to spend money on all of these other guys. The Felix Ojo money opened up. That helps Texas's bank account, and that allows the Longhorns to go after some other big-time targets this year. Just trust the process. I said it last week in regards to the Horns recruiting slump. 3 little birds. Don't worry. about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. This is just the start, but it's a damn good one. A little more on Tyler Atkinson. His high school numbers are ridiculous. He plays his high school ball at Grayson in Loganville, Georgia. Again, less than 40 miles away from the University of Georgia's campus. Last year as a junior, Tyler Atkinson totaled 166 tackles. He had 32 TFLs, 13 sacks, and 3 PBUs and an interception on top of all of that. Not too shabby. And by the way, he helped lead his team to a Georgia State championship as well. That was as a junior. As a sophomore, Tyler Atkinson, 197 tackles, 25 TFLs, 10.5 sacks. Goodness. I mean, this is video game stuff from Texas's newest commit. He's 6'2", about 210, 215 pounds. I saw this scouting report on Tyler Atkinson. Look, just watching his film and talking to some folks that I've talked to, I was already pretty excited about Tyler Atkinson. But here's a little scouting report to get you even more pumped about what the Longhorns just added. Quote, highly productive inside linebacker that can emerge as the soul of a defense with his instincts and athleticism. Owns more of a streamlined build at this stage, but is blessed with a longer frame and should have no issues eventually carrying 225 pounds or more. He's quick to locate the football with his field awareness and will mirror ball carriers with his rare start-stop ability and exceptional lateral burst. He's proven to be rather effective in the blitz as he will slip and dip around blockers before getting to the quarterback. He could fit into a variety of different schemes at the next level and will likely offer 3-down value given how he moves and strikes, end quote. Sounds good to me. What say y'all? An elite prospect going to an elite program. I'll call it an elite match. This is a huge win for Sark, for Pete Kwiatkowski, for Johnny Nansen, and everyone on the Texas staff. Shout out to Alan Clark as well. He was big on this recruitment. He continues to prove as a great hire for Steve Sarkisian, especially on the recruiting trail. He played a big role in this one. Tyler Atkinson, the 19th commit for Texas in the class of 2026. Before his pledge, Texas had the 9th-ranked class in America. Right now, I'm seeing the Longhorns moved up a spot to number 8. And I'm here to tell you, it's not stopping there. We're moving on up like the Jeffersons. Man, what a way to get things going on Texas Day at SEC Media Days in Atlanta. The number 1 linebacker in the class of 2026 is coming to Texas. And again, a local kid from right here in Georgia, committed on the Pat McAfee show right here in Georgia. And, that's got to sting. Kirby Smart and the Georgia faithful who are here in the ATL.
Ever wish managing your money felt easier? Maybe the Cincinnati Bengals do. With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year.
One Texas analyst is optimistic about the Oklahoma Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners.
I'm John Williams, Jay Smith. We're joined here by the world's strongest man, the former 2-time Olympian, the former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the former ECW Champion, Mark Henry. Also doing Texas Longhorns coverage on the morning kickoff in the zone in Austin, 1300. Mark Henry, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I see y'all got me with this. Y'all got me holding a Sooner microphone. Hold on a second. Let me turn it around to the side. No Sooner on it. There we go. All right.
That's Jay's trolling.
I feel better about being a Longhorn now.
I'm too respectful of the man. I know he could get me, so that's Jay. You can see Jay put me in between the two of them.
Well, that's the thing, though.
I can't hate the Longhorns. I definitely can't hate the Longhorns. I can't hate the Sooners. My son is one. So.
Exactly, and that's why we're having you on, Mark. Like, first and foremost, your son committed to Oklahoma. He's going to wrestle, and he's going to play football. How did that feel as a father to see him go going to college to wrestle while also playing some ball.
It did not surprise me one bit. He loved it when getting recruited by OU. He loved the fact that he's getting to wear red. Like as a little kid, I would try to get him to wear burnt orange, and he just always, I want the red one. I'm like, oh God. Now he grew up, and even in high school and college, he's really wanted to be a Longhorn. Wanted to be a Sooner all this time, so he got his wish.
Well, it sounds a lot like my daughter, Eliana. She's 9, but anytime Oklahoma's playing Texas in anything, softball, football, gymnastics, it doesn't matter. She's pulling for the Texas, yes.
Yes, good
and
girl.
I don't know what I'm doing quite wrong, but she's trolling
Somebody
me.
asked me what did I do wrong in my life for your son. I said, you know what, man, I haven't done much wrong in my life.
Right.
I said that I see nothing but good out of the fact that Coach Venables and the coaching staff there loves Jacob. They see how hard he works, and he wants to be better. And you know what, man, I think Oklahoma won getting him.
We're excited to have him for sure. Talk about what it does for a defensive lineman, a defensive tackle, to have that wrestling background.
Well, just balance and leverage. Like, it's hard to knock somebody off balance. They know how to push and pull you to make themselves more stable, and the dog in you. Like, as a wrestler, Jacob will take on anybody on that team, and I guarantee you nobody can get him on the ground, but he can get you on the ground. So, like, when you have that mentality at defensive tackle, you're going to need it, because you're going to have guys that are trying to double team you and knock you off your spot all the time. So he's ready for it.
No, that makes sense. And so when it comes to his football journey on top of the wrestling, as we've seen him with pictures with Triple H. We know that wrestling career is coming right afterwards. But when it came to him playing defensive tackle, was there a lot of things that you instilled in him when it came to playing that position?
Not at all. He got that from previous family members. My brother was an Aggie. My cousin was an Aggie. They both were All-Americans. My brother was all Southwest Conference 3 years in a row, one as a freshman. Sam was all Big 12, played in 2 Super Bowls and won one. He's got a cousin here in Atlanta, Kevin Henry, that won a Super Bowl with the Steelers. Michael Strahan is a relative that won multiple Super Bowls. So we come from football. So it's not like that's something that's strange to us. And he knows how competitive, the nature of our family is. And so everybody is trying their best to do well, and we instill that in the kids.
Taking a look at the Texas Longhorns, a lot of expectations for 2025. What has you excited about them? What has you a little bit maybe concerned about meeting those expectations?
I think I'm going to answer the concern first. My concern is that Art starts to feel the pressure of having to be the guy, and he tries to do too much. That's my only concern. They have depth at every position. They have some really, really large humans playing on offense and defensive lines. Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons are both going to be top 5 draft picks in the NFL, and that secondary is the spinal cord is from the nose tackle to the linebackers to the safeties. They're smart people. You can recruit athletes, but sometimes athletes are like Charles Barkley said athletes are. They run like deer, they jump like deer, and they think like deer. Like, that's not this Texas defense. This Texas defense is nasty, and they a bunch of smart guys. I hated to see Makuba go to the pros because he was kind of the catalyst for that smart guy in the secondary, but Michael Taft is just as smart and a good teacher.
What's a young player with Texas that's kind of gotten your eye as you've been evaluating them in preparation for this year that may be the one that breaks out?
The guy I feel like is really not a breakout, because C.J. Baxter, everybody knows that how good a player he was as a freshman, but he got injured last year and missed the season. He's back at full speed. 6'1", 235 pounds, ran a 4.40. Like, that's going to be the guy that's going to be Archer's saving grace. Not to mention they brought in a wide receiver from Stanford that prides himself on blocking upfield. that's going to bode well for the Texas running game. And then they brought in injuries from UCLA, who was a really good blocker, and 270 pounds at tight end. He's like having another offensive tackle out there sometimes in the run game. So you're going to get to see a lot of ground and pound, and then the play action is where Art should kill people. But I don't want him to feel like he's got to use his 6'5", 235-pound frame to run the ball like he's Cam Newton, because that's going to maybe he's not as injury-free as Cam is. I don't want him to get hurt trying to do too much.
Well, you heard Diego Pavia actually talk about that yesterday, where he mentioned
he's another one that I don't want to see get beat up.
Right. As the season went along, he just felt the wear and tear of it more and more. And,
Yeah.
and I think the same thing could be true for John Mateer. As good of a runner as he is, okay, let's pick our spots a little bit.
Listen,
where we take contact.
I'm very optimistic about what OU has in the cupboard now, the wide receivers being healed up, and now having Mateer, and you got a running back that you brought in that's arguably the best running back in college football. Like, what says bad about Oklahoma right now? And
That's a fair point.
so you got an offensive unit that was kind of inept last year, but if they fixed 3 of the 4 problems that they had. So we'll see what happens with the offensive line, but everything else they fixed. So if they can stay healthy, like every team that was a close loss, they'll win those games.
Yeah, and transition back to Jacob. The rosters for the fall 25 just dropped yesterday on the website. Of course, you know, we're addicts here, so we're going to definitely jump in and read it. And I saw Jacob's right around about 295. For him, what's an optimal playing size that you think would be best for him for the SEC?
He needs to be about 310.
Okay.
So still got some work to do. I want him to eat more and get in that weight room. And he's a 650-pound plus squatter. So like he's a strong kid, probably one of the strongest kids there, if not the strongest. But that doesn't translate. Strength doesn't translate to being a good football player. Like, you know, you have to study the playbook to be a good football player. And that's one of the things that he's really been working on, is knowing where he's supposed to be and when he's supposed to be there and what the call is.
Well, he's with a good defensive tackles coach in Todd Bates. So
Coach Bates is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. One of the reasons that Jacob is there.
All right, before we get you out of here, Mark, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you a wrestling question.
Okay, come on, bring it.
Okay, so you won your world title from Randy Orton. Randy Orton's still going strong, but he's had this face run over the last few years. Seems like he's hearing some voices in his head, though. Do you feel like a heel turn might be coming back for our guy?
I think the best Randy Orton is the snake Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I want to see Randy being his gifting. You know, like if Randy Orton was a football player, you know, I could see him playing tight end. You know, you got a 6'5", 260-pound dude that moves like the athlete that he is. Like, it would be a shame for him to try to go play quarterback.
Right.
And that's what I feel like he's doing right now, being the good guy. I think he's trying to play quarterback, being a good guy. Go back to tight end, catch the ball, move the sticks.
Yeah, he'd be one of those players that you love him on your team, but
you don't want him on nobody else's.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to do it. Thanks so much to Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, for joining us here on Locked On Sooners. Make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Also, go check him out Monday through Friday mornings on the Zone, 1300 a.m. in Austin, the flagship station of the Texas Longhorns.
So we can get out of a boomer.
What? What? Here, take your microphone, sir.
Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet right in the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. And if new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started.
Hugh Freeze comments about Auburn's expectations.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers.
You heard Hugh Freeze talk about expectations this year.
Yeah.
Playoff conversation is where he thinks they should be. Your initial response to that?
Yeah, it's laughing.
You're laughing.
I'm like, I don't think Auburn's a playoff team. Like, what makes you think Auburn is a playoff team right now? Look, I can understand certain things. Okay,
Yes.
I think Auburn right now, from a receiver standpoint, you can put the room up against anybody's.
Okay.
I think from a DB standpoint, a secondary standpoint, I think they're going to be top 4, top 5 in the SEC.
Okay.
But at the end of the day,
Yes.
you know how you win football games? By having a guy who takes a snap and can dominate a game.
Right.
Do we know that about Jackson Arnold? Because the only thing I know about Jackson Arnold is that he got benched by his fourth start. Okay. You saw some great things, but you saw some bad things too.
Yep.
Like what? Turning the ball over in key moments. What was our huge problem last year at Auburn football?
Turnovers.
Turning the ball over in key moments. So look, I get it. You're a head coach. You get up there. You're going to say everything right, everything that's positive for your team from a mentality standpoint.
Yeah.
I get it. But for me sitting in this chair,
Right.
I do not think Auburn's a playoff team.
All right. So how much of that is just in the conversation? Just to play devil's advocate here, because I agree. I don't think Auburn makes a playoff this year. But he said he wants to be in the college football playoff conversation. And like a big thing that I've just been begging for is like, let's just be an irrelevant game in November.
Absolutely.
And if you're in a situation where, like, let's say you've lost 2 games.
Okay.
Let's say you've lost to Georgia and pick one of the first 3 road games. Texas A&M, I think, is the least likely to win.
Probably,
So,
yeah.
All right, so let's say you lose to A&M and Georgia, but those are your only 2 losses, and you're playing Kentucky at home, which is, 3/4 through the season. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, when you look at Auburn's schedule, it's like if they can just beat everybody they're supposed to beat and then beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl, like that does technically put you in the playoff discussion.
Yeah, I mean, if we were supposed to beat everybody we're supposed to beat, trust me, we'd have a different conversation. But we're really good at, 1, not beating the teams we're supposed to beat.
All right.
And 2, not be able to finish the teams we're not supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we saw that with Alabama. We saw that with Oklahoma. Hell, we almost gave it up against A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Had to go into 4 overtimes when we're up double digits to win that football game. So the
Sure.
big thing with me is with this, I think from a personnel standpoint, I think Auburn has a pretty good roster.
Yeah.
On offense and defense.
Right.
But the one thing I have a crutch with that just irks me is that when it's
A what with?
a crutch.
Crutch.
Yeah. That irks me a
They
little
said
bit.
crush with. I'm
Yeah,
like, that
maybe
doesn't make
no,
sense.
the
Got
opposite
it.
of that.
Got
But
it. You don't
when the
like it.
moment's
Yeah.
the biggest,
Mhm.
when the pressure's the highest, our coaching staff seems to fall apart. They really do. Hugh, we can talk about the 4th and 31 calls, but I think he needs to go back and really find himself in calling plays in this offense. And I think Jackson Arnold's a somewhat better fit than Peyton Thorne. It's just when the pressure was the highest, Zach, and that's when diamonds are made. Okay, we
Yeah.
faltered,
Right.
We digressed, and that's what worries me the most. Because at the end of the day, the SEC is so deep and it's so talented. You're going to have close games week in and week out.
Right.
And some people say the ball bounces your way sometimes, and it doesn't. I think if you do everything you're supposed to do, you cross your T's, you dot your I's, right, and you trust your players, and you have coaches that in the biggest moments can make the right play calls, right, that's what takes you over the top. That's what brings you into the playoff discussion. We did not do that from a player standpoint last year, and we sure as hell didn't do it from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, no question about it. And so that's been some of Hugh Freeze's messaging this offseason is like, hey, we've got to look internally and figure out what went wrong. I don't really know how you do that. He talked about that at the ambush event, a few nights ago, and he talked about like, oh, well, we've been doing this since February. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, you can go back and look at like all these like pivotal plays that didn't go right. But until you like actually do it in a game, I
don't believe you.
It
messaging's one thing, but you have to prove it on the field. And it's just, and it blows my mind because it's so Auburn of us to do this. I mean,
so you're an Auburn guy. Are we okay putting that out there?
Through and
okay.
I'm born and bred in the orange
somebody
and blue.
Didn't know that they may be a little confused.
This is like my dad played and coached at Auburn.
There you go. All right.
I've been an Auburn fan since I took my first breath.
Okay.
In this world, I want Auburn to succeed.
Yep.
I hope we win the national championship
every
year. But I'm not going to get on here and just sugarcoat things to make you feel better about yourself.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. Now, am I going to kick a man while he's down? No. But there's a fine line and there's a fine in between. And if you look at Auburn's roster, there's talent there. There's depth there, right? But we're not proven at certain spots you need to be proven on. And that's not only on the football field. That's not only players, right? That's coaching too.
Yeah.
Hugh still has to prove it. And another thing, I think DJ Durkin's done a great job with the defense, right? On first and second down.
Mhm.
All right. But on third down, you're giving up 42% conversion rate on third down. You're in the bottom half of the SEC because, again, I wasn't a defensive coordinator. I played receiver. I was a co-offensive coordinator. But nothing blows my mind more, and I'm sure this is obvious to the basic fan, that when you bring – it hurts me to say this. When you bring 3 people, okay?
Rushing 3.
You rush 3 people and you drop 8 and don't cover anybody.
Yikes.
That's what makes me lose my mind.
I got you.
That's what keeps me up at night because I'd rather you bring all 11.
Yeah.
And some of the GAs.
Like, let's just
go
see.
I'd rather you ask forgiveness than permission, right? But we kept. Right. It's just I get worried because we keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
But maybe look, it's a different year this year. There's a new guy under center who I hope does well.
Yeah,
He's
for
a
sure.
great kid. He did have some trouble at Oklahoma just from an injury standpoint. Everybody around him. But but I'm telling you,
I'm okay writing off just because his situation was awful at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know, but if you watch some of the tape, right, some of it's on him. But I tell you what, man, I keep just hearing good things about Deuce Knight. I just keep hearing that this kid is not only from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint is on a whole nother level. And I tweeted this a long time ago, and I caught a lot of hell for it.
Okay.
And it probably wouldn't be great for Hugh Freeze, but I saw Billy Napier do it, and he's still coaching at Florida. If Jackson Arnold doesn't work out and you have to play Deuce Knight, one, that's not going to look good for you because you got him out of the portal. We already know what happened with Peyton Thorne.
Sure.
But if Deuce comes in and shows hope, if Deuce comes in and shows promise and Auburn doesn't have a great year, that can carry Hugh into the next year, just like it carried Billy Napier with DJ Lagler.
I think how Hugh Freeze has managed the quarterback room this offseason is a big reason why Auburn's floor, in my opinion, is higher than it was last year. Sure, a lot of positions are better than they were a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the backup and the third string quarterback is just
you're solid.
It's a totally different thing. So if Jackson doesn't work, and I've talked to a lot of Oklahoma people here this week where the discussion has been a ton on, okay, like if you get in his head, what happens, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, if this works out or doesn't work out, then all of a sudden you can say, hey, like Deuce Knight, Ashton Daniels, like, let's go.
Yeah, it's just I just don't know. Unless the backup comes in and he's the savior, I just don't know how Hugh Freeze survives if he misses again at the quarterback position.
Unless Deuce Knight's incredible.
Unless Deuce comes in and he shows flashes of greatness, right? But he's young. I mean, just got on campus. So it's just there's no way Hugh Freeze, who's supposed to be the quarterback guy, right? The quarterback guru, Mr. Play Caller, okay? If you miss again on a quarterback after you got Peyton Thorne didn't go get anybody else and you kept Peyton Thorne, everybody was screaming. Everybody was screaming to go get somebody, right? And you landed on Jackson Arnold and you miss again on that, Zach, I just don't see a way. I just don't see a way that he returns as the Auburn head coach next year, unless Deuce is just a freak talent.
It'd be tough. That would be tough. I just think there's so much around them where you can do that. Let me ask you this. I mean, you and I talked about this a little bit off air with Auburn's schedule being as manageable as it seems to be. I mean, you talked about the depth of the conference. Nobody's going to disagree with the depth of the SEC. But if you could handpick some of the teams that you would want to play, like Auburn's schedule is as favorable as it's been that I can remember in a long time.
Yeah,
in a long time. And I just think that gives you room for error. The issue is the easier part is on the back end. And so like you've got to survive the 3 road trips, to Baylor, to Oklahoma, to Texas A&M. You got to play Georgia. But then after that, it's like, okay, like if you can just survive to that point and manage that, then you're in a good spot.
I don't know if Auburn can afford to take a breath, because I get it. There's nothing really easy in the SEC. But as an Auburn fan, I don't feel great going to play Kentucky. Hell, we lost to Cal last year. I don't feel great playing Missouri. I don't. The lower SEC teams.
It is weird how we talk about these, and it's like,
Zach.
well, like we did lose to Vandy. Oh, we did lose to Arkansas. Like, oh, okay. Like we did lose to Missouri, And all of those, like we're talking about that 5-game stretch, like
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, we should go 4-1 or 5-0.